Hello and welcome. This is Jasur again from JRN Firm, and as you can see in this presentation, I would like to talk about how to relocate to China through company formation. And this information is true for September 14th, 2022. Before we start the presentation, let me briefly talk about our company for people who are new in this channel. So our company is located in the US, JRN Firm, in the state of Wyoming, and we also have a company in China, in Shanghai, called Shanghai Silk Road. Now, our company, JRN Firm, provides corporate consultancy services to our global clients. We have clients from all over the world, literally, and so far we have brought more than 600 investments, i.e., companies and individuals, into the Chinese market. We help them with incorporation, and after we register their companies, we help them open corporate bank accounts, and also we can open non-resident accounts in China for Hong Kong companies. And all these services actually can be realized not only in China, but we provide the same services in Hong Kong, Singapore, US, and other European Union countries and Latin American countries as well. So depending on your requirements and situation. And also we have corporate lawyers in our Shanghai office, licensed to practice law in China. So we provide bilingual contracts, English and Chinese, legal representation. If you have any disputes with the Chinese companies, suppliers, you can get in touch with us. We will be glad to assist. Company liquidation, restructuring, and tailor-made services related to doing business in China, US, Hong Kong, Singapore, and other countries that I mentioned. So this is our website for our US company, and this is the website of our China company. Feel free to visit them, browse through the information, and there's a contact page as well, frequently asked questions. You're welcome to visit. Now let's start the presentation. If you want to relocate to China through company formation, number one thing you need to consider is this labor department. So when you start a company in China and your company director, assuming he or she is in China physically, because through our other videos, previous videos, you know that most of you company director should be in China physically in order to make the company active, and also in order to open a company bank account, and also visit tax and custom offices for ID verification. So we just assume that your company director is in China because he or she will be required to go to the labor department in order to invite you. Okay, so this is, again, this presentation is for those companies or people who are currently outside of China, but they want to relocate, okay, to China. So that's the assumption here. But in order to realize that, the number one step is going to be for your company director to visit labor department, okay, and apply for permission to invite you, okay, whoever you are. Because like I mentioned again in the previous videos, if you are a shareholder, just by being a shareholder, you cannot relocate to China. So as a shareholder, you will have to take up some position provided you qualify for work permit. Okay, so I'm not going to discuss the work permit requirements here right now on this slide, but later on we have a separate slide for it. I will be talking about that. So number one step, your company director will have to go in person to a labor department and apply for permission, and company director, like I said, must be physically present there, right? I keep highlighting this because people ask a lot of questions about that. Can I give a power of attorney, or can I, ask my friend go there? Can we do, can we hire somebody to do that? No, it doesn't work like that. Labor department requires physical presence of the company director in China in order to get that permission, okay, to hire somebody from outside of China. Even if the company belongs to you, you should not assume that you have the right to relocate to China. It doesn't work like that. your company should be granted this permission to hire, okay, somebody who is outside of China, i.e. this is you. Okay, now in what form this permission comes? It's obviously in written form, it's a document, and plus to process this you have to wait around 10 business days, okay, or less. Sometimes they review the application in about 2-3 days or 5 days, but in average it's 10 working days. So number 2 you need to consider is work permit notification. Once the Labor Department grants that permission, now is the time to apply for work permit notification. It's done online, but still company director must be in China, and he or she will have to apply for it, okay, on your behalf. So normally, like I said, it's done online, but company director must be in China, because the Labor Department during the process, because this work permit notification is done by the Labor Department, okay, it belongs to them, it's their function, it's their job actually to provide this. So although it's done online, director might be required to go there again for some clarification, etc. Okay, so that's the reason why again company director should be there and apply for work permit notification. Okay, obviously to apply for work permit notification, he or she, the company director, will have to provide company's documents plus the applicant's documents. Applicant is whoever is trying to relocate to China. So their documents will include all these general documents for work permit, basically your degree and 2-year work experience, and plus obviously copy of your passport, background check, medical check, all of that. All right, so you need to provide all these documents. Now for people who might ask, how does my company director know all this process? I keep mentioning that for visa matters, it's always best to do it yourself, i.e. this director. So he or she, if they don't know the process, what they have to do is get in touch with the local immigration office. If it's Shanghai, then we advise our clients to speak to the Shanghai immigration office. The biggest one is located in Pudong district. So company director in here, actually in number 1 step, okay, we advise them to go to the immigration department, Pudong immigration department, for example, for Shanghai, and get directions directly from the immigration. Okay, the immigration office are actually very happy to assist, because we've seen in multiple occasions where people used some intermediary agencies, quote unquote, visa agents, which are illegal in China. I keep mentioning that. So when they use those agencies, immigration department, they don't like the whole process. Okay, they actually ask you, from time to time, who is helping you with the process, because essentially there's no license of such kind called visa agency or something like that. So visa agencies, they call themselves visa agencies. In fact, immigration office does not give anybody any right to assist and charge for visa services. Okay, so that's the reason why when people did it themselves, the whole visa process, the immigration are very helpful. So your company director on this number 1 step needs to go to the local immigration and get direction, guidance from them. They will tell you which labor department to go. Normally, this is the labor department where the company is registered. If your company is registered in some other district, they will ask you to go to that labor department and get that permission. And after that, again, when you visit the immigration office in your first visit, you can clarify everything, actually, step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. So based on that information, coming from the immigration office, you process the work permit notification. It's online. You can directly ask them which website, how to do it, and stuff like that. They will assist you. So after you apply for work permit notification, it's issued online. Again, you can print it out black and white. It's not color. Very simple document. And you need to send that work permit notification to the applicant who is outside of China, who is trying to apply. So that applicant, again, on number 3 step, he or she will have to go to the Chinese embassy, get the application, and also ask for what kind of documents required, because depending on your country of citizenship where you are applying from, Chinese embassies might have some additional requirements, etc., etc. So you need to clarify. I'm talking to the applicant now. So you need to clarify what requirements they have, and based on that, you need to fill out the application form and apply for Z visa. Z visa is the entry visa, actually, entry visa, and Z is actually for that, work type of entry visa. Okay, and it's given normally for 1 month. I'm going to talk about that now, but normally these are the documents here. Company documents. You will need the copy of the company documents, full company documents. Okay, you don't have to have the originals, so don't ask your colleagues or whoever, your company director is in China, to send the originals. You don't need them. Just copies will suffice. And plus work permit, work visa documents. This can be clarified from the embassy. Okay, you can contact the embassy and you can get the list of documents for work visa. But generally speaking, these are your degrees, your medical check, your background check, work experience, all the same documents that you send to your company director for work permit notification, the same documents. Now, next step is going to be, okay, these are again the general list. Okay, so I advise you to clarify this list with the Chinese embassy. You can just ask them, application, and what kind of documents do I have to provide in order to apply for Z visa. I think all the Chinese embassies will be happy to provide the list. So application, company documents, again, copies, degree, diploma, and background check. This background check should be done in your country of citizenship, and you need to definitely legalize it and translate it into Chinese. Work experience letter, work permit notification that you got from China, okay, through your company director. Invitation letter from the company should write it, your own company I'm talking about. So you need to ask your company director to compose it and write it in Chinese, okay, stamp it and sign it. And plus labor agreement. So you need to again sign a labor agreement between yourself and your company in China. Okay, that labor agreement normally is in Chinese. So actually, I need to mention that if you cannot find, or if you need assistance with writing a labor agreement, we provide such a service. I mentioned it in the beginning. So we draft the agreement in Chinese, and you can have it stamped by your company director and then send over to you, and you will have to sign, okay, before you go to the embassy. And accommodation arrangements, obviously, so you need to provide some sort of documents to the embassy where you will be staying in China, which city, and proof of that at least. I believe temporary agreement with the Airbnb or some sort of like hotel bookings will be enough in the beginning to apply for this visa, because naturally you can explain that you don't know the future and you don't have long-term plans yet, because you are not in China, so you want to observe, you want to see before you decide where to settle, right? So medical check, I mentioned medical check is normally Chinese embassies have a template, so you can download either from their website or ask them what kind of tests are required, because every Chinese embassy, they might have different requirements depending on the COVID situation in your country. So make sure to check with the embassy. Don't just randomly go to a hospital and go through the medical check. It doesn't work like that. You need to clarify it with the embassy. And other documents, again, based on embassy's requirements. And so basically, the whole situation regarding COVID, they might have additional requirements there. So number 5 is visa, Z visa length. I already mentioned it. Normally it's given for 1 month, and it's single entry. It's an entrance visa. Okay, that's it. You just enter once with that visa, and you need to change it to residence permit with the right to work, which I'm going to talk about. But normally you need to change your Z visa into residence permit in China within 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. And number 6, work permit card. Actually, once you land in China, okay, the applicant, you'll have to apply as soon as possible for work permit card. Okay, work permit card is done before the residence permit. So you need to apply for work permit card, and you will need your company director to go with you to the immigration department. And actually, work permit card is not applied at the immigration department, but it's applied at labor department. So we need to clarify that. Okay. So you and your company director should go to the labor department in person, and you need to fill out the application. And actually, the application process is divided into 2. Okay, before you go to the labor department, there's an online process. So I need to mention that this is step number 1, online process here. And then step number 2 is collected in person. Okay, so it's divided into 2 parts. When you go to collect in person, your company director should be there in person as well with you, and you need to bring the company documents and stuff like that. So as soon as you arrive, so you need to apply for this work permit card at labor department, once again, to summarize, and it happens before residence permit application, and you do it online, okay, as soon as possible when you arrive in China. And then after around 10 working days, you need to collect that work permit card. It's a green card, actually. I mean, the color is green, so you need to collect it in person. Usually this card is given for 1 year, okay, because normally your labor agreement is signed for 1 year, so this one is based on that labor agreement and is given for 1 year as well. Now after that, after you receive your residence, the work permit card, it's time to apply for residence permit, okay, with working rights. So it's normally, related to that work permit card that you get, but still it's slightly different. The length is slightly different because it's based on the business and based on many other elements that immigration decides. So residence permit application is done at the immigration office. Okay, this work permit is done at the labor department, but this one is done at the immigration office. For example, again, Shanghai has different immigration departments based on districts, but the main one where you can apply irrespective of the district is the Pudong Immigration Office. So you can go there in person. Usually, you bring all the same documents. Okay, you submit it for your work permit card and for your Z visa. So with those documents, you go there in person. But right now, during COVID, you need to make an appointment. An appointment is done online as well. So when you become a client to us, we will be more than happy to guide you through it. Okay, we're going to give you the formal websites and stuff like that. You can apply for appointment. And then the length, actually, I mentioned, it's usually given between 1 month and 1 year. And who decides it based on what is up to the immigration department. But normally, if you get a short one, it means that your documents might not be immigration officer might not trust your business plan or whatever. If they have questions, actually they require an interview. So during that interview, they're going to ask you some questions about your business, your plans, how are you going to realize this business, what will you be selling, or what kind of services you will be offering. So based on all of this, okay, communication, review of your documents and stuff like that, they will decide the length of your visa. residence permit visa. So it's given again between 1 month and 1 year, and if they trust you, basically your documents and your answers, they might give you like longer visa, like maybe 6 months or 1 year. And normally, if they have an issue with your documents and with your interview results, if you are interviewed, they mention the problems, okay, at during the interview actually. So the problems are usually related to your business plans, and maybe if they don't trust you, or maybe they find you like your business plan might have some issues, they will tell you that, okay? And then again, they will mention normally how to fix that. They're going to give you, if for example your visa is for 1 month, they will mention to you that after 1 month, please bring this and that, and based on that, maybe we will help you extend your visa further. All right, so same documents I mentioned, okay? When you go to immigration department for your residence permit application, you will have to bring the same documents as Z visa and work permit card, and that's it basically. So once you apply, there's around like 3 weeks processing time, between 2 and 3 weeks actually. So you will normally get your residence permit with your passport delivered either to your address that you provide. You have to pay for the postal service, and or actually you can collect it at the main immigration office. Again, in Shanghai it's Pudong, so you can choose basically during your visit. And so that's it for now, guys. So these are like once again, to summarize: Labor Department, work permit notification, Z visa, okay, Z visa documents list, Z visa length we talked about, work permit card, and final step is residence permit. As soon as you arrive, like after you get your work permit card, you need to apply for residence permit, and that's it. So this is how you relocate to China, and then you can start running your company. So if the person is actually assisting you is a nominee director in China, then once you arrive in China, there's a possibility of taking over the directorship to your name, which we can assist with the whole process. It's basically the process that is very standard and takes around 2 to 3 weeks to change the business license, because in China you have the business license and the director's name is on the business license, so we can assist you with the whole process. But anyway, so like I said, please visit our website. If you want to start the company registration process in China, it's fully automated. Actually, you can start right on our website, and you can also get answers to your questions through our frequently asked questions section. Please make sure to check that. We maximized the list of frequently asked questions and the answers obviously on the website, so that to avoid any back and forth communication, because people keep asking us the same questions over and over again. So we collected all of them combined and put on the website here. All right, so if you still have questions, feel free to email us, and you can also add us on WeChat, WhatsApp, and Telegram through this number, and we will be happy, glad to assist you with your company formation and other post-company formation issues there. So thanks for watching once again. Please consider subscribing to our channel, like this video, share with your colleagues and friends, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.